How's it going, everyone? This is Soul Singed here, and welcome back to my weekly BattleBot video. They didn't have an episode last week, but we are back this week, so let's just get straight into this. First up, we have Black Dragon versus Claw Viper. Honestly, I feel like this one could go either way, but I'm just gonna have to give it to Black Dragon. Next up, we have Ghost Raptor versus Jackpot. Still not sold on Jackpot yet, so I'm gonna have to go with Ghost Raptor. Next, we have Grabat versus Sub-Zero. I don't see how those little grabby arms will be able to do much, and even though Sub-Zero is still having some reliability issues, I'm going to have to go with Sub-Zero. Huge versus Hydra. Ooh. I'm going to give it to Huge just because I like Huge more, but I also like Hydra, and I feel like they could win, but I'm just giving it to Huge out of personal preference. Next up, we have Aegis versus Fusion. Fusion could win easily if they fix their reliability issues, and we haven't seen Aegis fight yet. Interesting design for a flipper, so I'm excited to see what they can do, but I'll have to go with Fusion on this one. Big Dill versus Lockjaw. I'm going to have to go with Lockjaw. No explanations needed. Kraken versus Witch Doctor. I love Kraken and I love Witch Doctor, but I'm giving it to Witch Doctor. So, yeah, those are my predictions, and I will see you guys in a second once I actually watch the episode.
Alright, well, after predicting almost all the fights right last week, I went back to getting 4 right and 3 wrong this week. And pretty interesting stuff. So let's start off with Claw Viper versus Black Dragon. Black Dragon dominated that fight. I honestly thought we would see more from Claw Viper, but Black Dragon dominated from the get-go, and that's all there is to say about that one. Now, I said I wasn't sold on Jackpot yet. I think I am now. They looked phenomenal against Ghost Raptor. Now, the only thing I'm still questioning is Jackpot really this good, or is the new Ghost Raptor that bad? You know, so that's my only question now, and I'm just really impressed at how the Jackpot team was able to build this good of a robot on a budget of $4,000. It's like, I know Malice, their team put out there that their bot cost $80,000, and then we have Jackpot, which looks decent, performs pretty well, and only costs $4,000. That's pretty impressive. Next up, we have Sub-Zero versus Grabat. I predicted that Sub-Zero would win, and they just dominated completely. We never saw Grabat do anything, which, I mean, Grabat's only weapons are those little grabby hands, I guess, but Sub-Zero just went out there and just tossed it around like a piece of trash, you know, which is good for them to do that because it's been so long since they haven't really done anything, and they finally get an impressive win, so I have to look out for Sub-Zero. Now we get to Hydra versus Huge. Can we just get one episode without controversy? Just one? Now, I really don't know how to feel about this. Because on the one hand, I am impressed at what Hydra was able to pull off with that strategy. On the other hand, I'm not. Because they essentially, apart from their main weapon was still a flipper, but essentially they were a grappler in this match. And see, that's the biggest deal. If Huge would have been going up against a grappler, then nothing would have been said because Hydra did exactly what grapplers are supposed to do. My biggest thing about this fight is how the referee had to warn Hydra multiple times to back off, because for those who don't know, there's a rule where if you're a grappler or a crusher, when you grab a hold of them, you can hold them for 30 seconds and you have to release. And Hydra was like, oh, well, I'm not touching him, so he can move if he wants to, because Hydra had him backed up into a corner, and the way his little cow catcher net thing, whatever you want to call it, had him basically pinned against the wall without physically touching him. And Hydra was like, oh, I'm not moving because I'm not touching him, so... And the referee had to warn him multiple times to back off. I don't know, this came across as a kind of a douchey fight to me from Hydra's end. I don't know. Still, Hydra, I guess, deserved the win. I don't really know. I was hoping Huge would win. I mean, they obliterated Bronco last season, so I figured we would hopefully see a repeat of that. But unfortunately not. And the third flipper fight in a row, we had Aegis versus Fusion. I picked Fusion winning this one just because I was unsure about Aegis. At least I think I picked Fusion. Yeah. But I was hoping to see some impressive things from Aegis. I mean, it's an interesting design for a flipper. I was hoping with their dome-like shape, it could deflect hits from spinners. But it being made out of Kevlar fiberglass-like material, it's just not durable at all. Especially when they fired their flipper too early, which allowed Fusion to get up underneath the flipper and just destroy it. And still, Fusion is still having some issues with their drive. The weapons seem to be working great now. The reliability seems to be better, but driving-wise, they look like they're still having some problems. And again, like all the other new teams that get obliterated their first match, I hope Aegis can get it put back together, and I hope we'll see them in another fight. And then Lockjaw versus Big Dill. Big Dill won against Adam 94, but I mean, Adam 94 didn't exactly do much. And we have Lockjaw, who is a vertical spinner like Adam 94. However, Lockjaw actually works. And just kind of tore Big Dill up. It did go to the judges, but I mean, the only Big Dill, once Lockjaw bent Big Dill's forks, they really weren't able to do anything. So, yeah, Lockjaw still not 100%, but it's looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. And the main event, Witch Doctor versus Kraken. Now, I am a fan of both of these robots. I was hoping Witch Doctor would win. I thought Witch Doctor would win, but Kraken looked very, very impressive. Especially being able to go weapon on weapon and just clamping down and just pushing them around wherever they wanted to. And I guess Kraken is going to get counted for breaking their weapon since they broke one of the ends off of Witch Doctor's spinner, which made it unbalanced. Witch Doctor, I still think is a top tier bot. It's just they're going up against very tough opponents. Hopefully they'll win their last match, and hopefully we'll still be able to see them in the top 32. But Kraken looking like the breakout star this year. Well, breakout star, even though he's been competing the last couple of years. This year is his real breakout year, where he moves up to a top tier bot. So, yeah, looks like the ones to look for from this episode. Black Dragon looked very impressive. Jackpot, Sub-Zero's on the come up. Hydra still doing great. Lockjaw, still has some few things to work out. Same with Fusion. Witch Doctor, they got a few issues need to iron out. And then Kraken. So yeah, that just about wraps up this videos, and I will see you guys next week or whenever my next video comes out. Peace.